Hello everybody and welcome to the Chalco Draws for the Singles Awareness Day picture I did for Cheetah Kid. Now if you're wondering why I did Singles Awareness Day instead of Valentine's Day like I did last year, it's because, well, it's not because of a me thing. Don't freak out. I'm not depressed that I'm not in a relationship. I could actually care less. But so everyone around me, right, it's not really Valentine's Day, it's Singles Awareness Day because I'm single and stuff, and blah blah blah. And so, I was just like, you know what, people seem to really be into that. So I was like, you know, why not? Just shout out to them, give them a little Singles Awareness Day thing instead of Valentine's Day, because, you know, putting a Valentine's Day thing might just remind them of, how sad they are, or putting a Singles Awareness thing might make them sad about, or remind them about how sad they are, which, in turn, is bad either way. But, sorry. I mean, next year I just won't do anything. I'll just draw a picture of an octopus or something, I don't know. But if you might notice in this picture that Kyra's outfit was changed. As I mentioned in the last thing, in last Chalco Draws, click the annotation right there, I guess. I don't know if I'm actually going to put it up. But in the last one I mentioned that Kyra's outfit had changed because I thought that it was too plain. Just to remind you, if you forgot or just what, or you didn't know at all, yeah, her outfit's gonna change eventually. Not in the comic immediately, but eventually her main outfit will change, and that's how I'm gonna draw her from now on. Another news. You might have also heard from my DeviantArt page that I had quite a few issues with Dreadbound, and that was the reason for the comic being not posted last Wednesday. And yeah, so basically what happened was I installed, so there was a new version of the engine I used to make Threadbound, which is the 001 engine. And so I was like, okay, I need to install that because maybe things will be better. Unfortunately, things did not get better. In fact, a few things did get better, things would load faster, but the games itself would load faster and everything. But there was a lot of things that, sent the engine backwards, now, for some reason, enemies can hurt each other by accident, or they can, walk into each other. Well, that's always been a thing. They always collide with each other. That's always a thing. But, sounds will loop constantly instead of just, continuously going if I put in a certain script. It's all, there's a lot of just technical stuff that you won't understand. But one of the major things that happened was, you know how, in the, scenes I've shown you, a character will talk and then in the text box their face will be there. That was broken, for the characters, and it's still broken. But so what happened, with all the characters it was like that, but weirdly enough, for the main characters all I had to do was turn on the switch, and for some reason I don't know how it got turned off, because you know, it's that thing that it wasn't a problem before. So I assume the program either turned it off by itself for some reason, or maybe it was never on and they were just accounted for and now it was. I'm not sure. But and then the other problem was that now that the players can talk, but the players might be able to talk now, but the NPCs for some reason aren't registered to talk. Or they can talk, but you know, they can't show their profile, their portrait, when they talk, and that's a major problem for me because it's what all characters have. All characters have that, so I would have to replace all characters with normal text, and I don't want to do that because I want you to see their face. Now, I'm probably not going to do different expressions for the characters because that's a lot of work, and I don't think it works as well for this engine as it would with RPG Maker. That's one thing I envy about them. But I honestly like the program better, and I think it should get more credit. But that's a lot of drawing for me to do for hundreds of characters from different webcomics and stuff, and I have to draw different styles. It's hard enough for me to draw different styles in general, just for the main characters and stuff, and drawing them, and getting used to that adaptation and stuff like that. But yeah, so for a while it'll be very hard for me to develop the game in terms of conversations. I can definitely develop the sprites and the maps and stuff, but in terms of you know, actually going through the story and scripting the story things, I can't really test it. I can program it in, but I can't test it until the new update comes out. So it'll just be a little longer for me to do that at least. But I can do other things in that time. Another thing, like, goddamn, that's a great transition. Another thing, also, thing that I should tell you guys, don't freak out, don't panic and think that I'm just a whiny teenager, which I kinda am. I am no longer enrolled in Average High School. What I mean by that is, I do not go to, like, you know, high school, like, in general, like, ones with, like, six periods and stuff like that, and, like, you go every day and stuff. I'm now going to be in a different kind of high school because, all of my, like, all this work outside of school is, like, stressful for me to mix with my normal stuff. And, honestly, it wasn't leading me in any good direction, like, they were just throwing me around in different classes, and I couldn't change the classes that I didn't even need anymore. And so that might just be my high school. Like, I know, like, I didn't go to Culver, but, like, that's where my brothers and stuff went. My brother and sister stuff. Like, and I assume it would have been better for me there. I probably would have been happier there. But even then, like, with all the stuff I do, I might not have had time, like, to do all the stuff. So instead, I unenrolled from normal high school, and I'm going to a program called Learn for Life. And basically what that is, I go once a week, and each time I go, I get 2 to 3 points depending on how much I work. Like, you know, points of going to college and stuff and graduating. You know, those points. And then I go home, and for the whole week I do, like, all the work that's required. And now, see, that's better for me because I don't have to go constantly. It's not like 7 periods of homework. And I know you guys are probably like, 7 periods? What are you talking about? Our school changed it so that we had to do 7 periods instead of 6 periods. And that was one of the major reasons why I had to get out of there. Because it's just like, I can't do that. Even for a normal person, that's really difficult. And then you got me, who's got like all this comic stuff and game development. You guys will say, just take a break. And it's like, well, it's kind of hard to do considering that this is the only thing that I really find joy in. And like, I mean, yeah, there's video games and stuff that I could be playing. Like, I love to play video games. I love to 100% them. But even then, like, yeah, this doesn't feel as satisfying as what I do here, and like actually like seeing people's reactions to my work and such, and actually making a video game, which is incredibly fun. And yeah, so I'll definitely have more time to do work. Like, I'll have more time to work on Threadbound, time to work on Cheetah Kid, and, like, last time was a bad example because, you know, I had to spend a lot of time on Threadbound because it messed up and it didn't get to do Cheetah Kid, but that should not happen anymore if there's not a major problem. It's, like, there's always just gonna be, like, a major problem, like, a personal issue, like, a personal issue or something horrible happened with Threadbound is really the only reason there should be something, like, delaying Cheetah Kid. There should be nothing else delaying Cheetah Kid. Cheetah Kid should be fine. And there should not be any more, like, non-updates. In fact, I may be getting ready to start doing double updates instead of just regular once a week update, because that's always what I wanted to do, because this is a long story, and, like, while like, there are other comics that are, like, long, ongoing stories, like, 2 kinds and stuff, that have only, like, 1 update. Like, even then, like, I think Tom knew that it was, like, he had to do double updates. Mainly, because he did start doing double updates. Thank God. And, like, but, like, yeah. So basically, I just to, like, get the story going faster, get you guys, like, more into it, and assure that, like, at least there'll at least be 1 comic a week. If anything happens, there will at least be 1 comic a week. Unless something worse happens, in which there's no comics that week. That'd be just ridiculous, though. That should not be a thing that happens. But, yeah. What was that I had to talk about? I sped through all of my topics way too fast. So, what are you guys doing? Anyway. There's actually not much else to talk about. I guess let's just talk about, like, more stuff about Threadbound. So, like, a lot, like, so you guys mentioned, like, a journal kind of system in Threadbound. I have been working on that, and it's actually not that hard to program. Like, surprisingly. Like, just, like, scripting an enemy to drop, like, a note that allows you to, like, read through their bio and stuff, and then just, like, you can go through it and stuff. and that's going along smoothly. That should be done soon. I'm not sure on the demo though. Like, first of all, I want to ask like the creator of GamerCat, like if I can use GamerCat in like as a cameo in the arena, because that's the whole like theme of the arena mode. It's like I can't like it's game theme basically because it's the games. It's like it's like a gladiator thing. So you know. Why not? I don't know how the arena's gonna look entirely yet. I have an idea as to what it's gonna look like. I have like 3 concepts of it, but they're all very different. I know there's gonna be different scenarios which they fight, but I don't know. Also, with the combat system I wanted to mention for Threadbound, this is oddly enough a lot about Threadbound instead of Cheetah Kitty, considering that this is a Cheetah Kid drawing. Yeah, the combat system might change because along with the new update, the music system and how it works, it got messed up. So I've had to adjust how the music works and how it's triggered and stuff for combat. And how it normally works, as if I haven't explained it already, you walk around the world, but in the world there's already, like, in certain areas, there's already enemies just, like, roaming around, and you kind of just fight them then. And so if there's enemies in the area, the music would kick in. But as soon as they're all cleared out, the music would go away. Instead, what might be easier for me to do is just have a random encounter system. Like you know how in Final Fantasy it's like you walk around and then all of a sudden, bam, like random encounter. And I might change it to that, like the fighting system would be the same way, except, you know, not turn-based. It'd be like you encounter a random encounter, but then you're teleported to a little area. Like a kind of, and it's kind of like an arena kind of thing, but it's themed after like what's surrounding you. Like if you're in a Sogen area or a plains area, if you're in a plains area, then or you're in a forest, there'll be trees around and grass around and stuff, and that's like it's like in a small square like space, but it's like enough to move around in. And yeah, and there will be like three kind of random encounters per area, kind of, I guess. And it'd also be easier to have, like, the special enemies show up, because if I had to do it the normal way, like I was talking as before, like, a special enemy would be harder to program, because you would have to, like, have it to where all of a sudden, like, in one time, there's a random chance that it'll just pop up out of nowhere. But that changes the whole music system, because random, like, special enemies have their own, like, music. Like, they have the, like, you find this special enemy kind of thing music. It's all, like, one song. But it's different from the normal combat music. And I don't know how I would program that, considering that if there's other enemies in the area, then... And plus, the other enemies might be distracting in terms of, like, you know, trying to fight the special enemy and then trying to fight the, normal enemies to get them off the back. While your AI might just do that itself, like your party members might just go after them, because the party members in Threadbound not the smartest. Like they just kind of like go in gung ho and just like attack the enemy. Though if they become invincible or invulnerable, they may like back off and let you like run around or follow you until you like until it's time to fight them again. But yeah, the main purpose for that, like, the AI being kind of dumb, is that I was gonna make it so that they would randomly use magic, but in the case that you need, like, them to have magic, like, here, or you need to switch to them to use a certain spell, it would be very inconvenient if they just randomly did stuff, like, threw out magic, and it completely misses or something like that. So, that's always, like, that would always just, like, be a problem if you ever needed it. So that's the whole reason for that. It's basically just like the whole purpose of having multiple party members be able to play as them is because, well, A, you want to play as these characters from these comics that you read, and B, it requires more strategy. Like, there's of course keeping your party members alive with the healing spell and stuff like that, but each character like has their own set of like number of magic, and to use a healing spell, you have to allow a character to use a healing spell that another character already has. So, say if one party member has a healing spell but none of the others do, they can use that healing spell, like, if the one party member has it. They can't, like, but the characters can't use the healing spell on like each other. Like you can't like use a healing spell on Peanut and you're playing as Taylor, and then Taylor loses MP. Peanut will literally use that healing spell instead of you using it. And so if your allies are KO, that's the only way to heal them. You have to use a cure spell. You can't use potions or something like that. Or there may be items that can revive. I'm not sure. It all depends. But the healing spell is the main thing that revives your allies, and it's the main thing that keeps you alive in combat. So, yeah, there you go with that. And, yeah. Yeah, the combat system might change, I don't know. It's a lot like, to explain it to you guys, it's a lot like the combat system in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, if you guys know what that is. But, yeah, it's not gonna be like the traditional Kingdom Hearts where enemies will randomly spawn in the normal world when you fight in that world. It also caused problems for like the enemies' AI too. Like they would run into walls and then they would just like stay there by accident because they couldn't find the route to get to you. Because they're like AI is pretty good at finding a route to get to the main player. Like even your allies' AI is pretty good, but for some reason they don't jump. I have to program that in. Like I'll have to work on that. Like your allies don't jump when you jump. Or they don't jump at all. It's like to get over obstacles to get to you. But yeah, I'll work on that. So, but yeah. That's what's going on with Earthbound. And Chiniku will resume, like, just to recap, Chiniku will resume soon. Like, yeah, Chiniku's gonna resume. I'm gonna be working more on on everything because I'm out of school. And Singles Wednesday. Pretty much it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, I don't give a fuck if you like or subscribe, or share or whatever. I don't care. Just you're clearly here to watch this video, and if you liked it, then you liked it. So, see you next time on whatever thing I draw next or decide to record. And bye bye. Oh, it's actually 30 seconds late. Shit. Pancakes. Totally professional outro. Anyway, see ya. Gonna let this fade out. My voice is going away. Ooh. I'm a ghost now. Bye-bye.